So we're down these roads. These are mile roads, so they're completely straight. So when we had these objects on the road that would stay the same distance in front of the car, we'd drive down these roads at 60 miles an hour in the middle of the night with no lights on, because they're completely straight. And you'd have just enough light that you could see sort of the edges of the road. But we'd be on these roads all the time, chasing these things and looking for them.
Oh, it's moving faster now.
We called them ground lights. Now they call them orbs. The Canadian government in 1950, when I asked the head metallurgist for the Canadian government that had worked on the flying saucer program, he said, "Oh, you mean monitors?" And I went, yeah, monitors. I didn't know what he's talking about, but he claimed that these objects that we were chasing here, and I'm going to show you right now, were actually seen back in the 1950s in Ottawa, where they claimed that they would be watching the UFO meetings and stuff, and sitting in the backyard and burning out rows of beans and stuff. The guy who ran the Canadian government program, his wife told me that they burned this tree, and the neighbor had actually said to the director of the program, "I don't know, Wilbur, I don't know where your little friends are from, but can you tell them to stay out of my tree?" And they would burn trees and sit on windowsills and stuff. So when I described it to this military guy, that's what he said. He said, "Oh, you mean monitors? Yeah, those things have been around forever." But we thought it was a new phenomenon. Now they call it orbs. And this is when we discovered the monitors or ground lights or orbs, whatever we want to call them. When we were doing this, I would get all sorts of people who had cameras, because I wasn't really a camera guy. So people would say, "Oh, can I come out? I got a good camera or a big telephoto and I'll photograph it for you." So I'd bring people out. So the one night I brought a friend of mine out, and what you're going to see, we're going to be at what's called the Sperling Corner. And we were there and waiting for the big ones to fly around, and nothing appeared, and suddenly it got dark and these orange lights were all around us. And I said, "What's going on? I've never seen these things before." And that's when we followed the one. This is where we're going right now. And the first night I got within a couple of feet of this thing, and it was no doubt what I was looking at. And this is what I was going to jump on. I knew that Stephen Michalak had been burned in '67. I knew there was a chance that this could be painful or it could be injurious, but I was determined. I was close enough that I thought I could run and I could jump on it before it actually took off, because I was like doubting Thomas. I wanted to put my hand on it and touch it. There's actually one where they go out and it's in the ditch, and Wilbur Smith actually talks about it in a paper, that it dimmed out. It was sitting in the ditch and it took off. But the thing you see here, like we're getting twisted around here, and that's what happens is everything looks the same here, because there's these mile roads going in different directions. So they had the landing where they got the CKY film was northeast of Carmen, or northwest of Carmen. And when the guys were on the ground, these were pilots, newspaper reporters, they had this thing on the ground. As soon as they saw it, they started looking around at microwave towers to figure out where are we on the countryside, because it all looks the same. So they're looking to see, because they want to come out back the next morning in order to see if there was any radiation detection in the field and stuff like that. But out here, so we would count mile roads. How many mile roads have we gone down? And that's how we located where we were. You can't really follow streets, you just follow these mile roads. So we're going to come up on 205, and the mile road we're going to go to is the second mile road from Sperling. So starting at Sperling, we counted the second mile road over, turned south to the US border, and that's where we called it Little Charlie. It was there the entire time, all 1976,